I know, it's super ironic that as an audiologist that had been helping patients with tinnitus for a decade, I then developed tinnitus myself. My name's Dr. Gladys Sander. I'm an audiologist and I specialise in tinnitus and hyperacusis. And in March 2020, I developed tinnitus myself. Now, at the time, I was incredibly stressed with work and I wasn't really happy in the position that I was in. And around the same time, I developed COVID-19. Actually, it was March the 16th, 2020. Now, at the time, I must admit, I was more concerned about COVID and what I was hearing in the news and what I was going to do about work. And quite honestly, I thought, I know what this is. You know, I've dealt with this so many times and it will be all right. But later on, and maybe it was because I was furloughed at the time and I had more time on my hands, but there was a period of time that summer where it started affecting my sleep. And quite honestly, I felt like a bit of a fraud, a bit of an imposter. I thought, you know, I should know what to do about this. This shouldn't be bothering me. One of the things that really helped me at the time was listening to a lady playing an acoustic guitar on YouTube. And that was kind of my saving grace to help me sleep. But I soon realised that actually I needed to deal with this. One, I needed to deal with the root issue, which was the stress at the time. And two, I had to come to some level of acceptance that this was something that I had. And I started applying the same strategies that I advise my patients and my clients to. So I was very conscious of any unhelpful thoughts. I was very conscious of practicing mindfulness and really managing my stress. And, you know, today I use my tinnitus as a barometer to let me know if I'm stressed and that I need to rest, and I allow myself to rest. I give myself permission to rest. Now, I am so strong about the fact that people do not need to suffer with tinnitus because I am living proof, and that's why I do what I do. And I will always say that, you know, tinnitus should get easier to deal with, should get better if we are applying the right strategies. And that's what I help my patients to do. Now, one thing I wish I knew at the start was that blaming myself wasn't helpful. You know, it was actually just making the whole situation worse. And, you know, when you're in it, it's quite difficult not to not think, gosh, you're so stupid. Why did you let yourself get so stressed? Why can't you just accept this and just stop thinking about it? But it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes the right strategies. So if you are struggling with tinnitus, if you feel that you need that support, then please reach out, because I'm a big believer that you don't have to suffer with tinnitus. So here we are, 2025, I still have tinnitus. I know it's always there. If I think about my tinnitus, I'll hear it. So my tinnitus is a high-pitched buzz and I hear it in both ears. I have eustachian tube dysfunction, and the eustachian tube is the tube that links your nose to your ears and helps to equalize the pressure in your ears. Now, I do believe that COVID has just wrecked my eustachian tubes. Now, I know that whenever I get hay fever or seasonal allergies, my ears get bunged up. I'm going to be more aware of my tinnitus. On a day-to-day basis, I manage my tinnitus really well. I do things to help look after myself to manage it, and these are the strategies that I teach my patients to do. There are times where I'm more aware of my tinnitus, and I can definitely do another video to talk about a recent flare-up that I had. But even with the flare-ups, I must say that as much as I don't like tinnitus, believe it or not, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I accept this is something that I live with, and I accept that this is something that I don't have to suffer with. And it makes me even more of a believer that there is no one that needs to suffer with tinnitus. So if this is something that you are struggling with, please reach out because there are things that we can do to help.